You're welcome again to another video of me just showing up with Wiz this time, actually. So, today we are going to be doing something a bit different from what we've been doing before, and that is connecting our Wiz to Google Cloud. So, a quick heads up, right? This is the first time I'm using Google Cloud. If you've been following my videos, you know that the cloud, providers that I'm familiar with are just AWS and Azure. But this particular lab demands that I use Google Cloud. And honestly, it's exciting. I mean, there's a first time, so, and another thing, right? Usually, sometimes, right, I tend to practice first before I come and then share my screen and everything. But this time, because of the amount of time I have left to use this lab, I have to do it like ASAP. So we are just going to do it together, guys. We're going to learn together. We're going to fail together. I mean, that's the whole essence of this video. Okay. So, right now that we are currently in our Google Cloud, so I'm currently signing in my Google Cloud, right, with the information given to me by Wiz, obviously. So we have a Google Cloud here, a Google Cloud environment right here, and we have our Wiz environment here. So we're going to connect this to this. This is the first time, so buckle up and grab a popcorn or something. It's about to get dirty. Yeah. All right. So the first thing we're going to be doing actually is to deploy. I mean, definitely after connecting this, but this particular video is just going to be connecting our ways to our Google Cloud. So the next video after this is going to be us deploying a vulnerable virtual machine and a purely configured storage bucket. Actually, we're going to even do it right now. We're going to do that right now alongside connecting it. So brace yourself and yeah, feels like I'm talking a lot, but that's okay. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, right, is to deploy a vulnerable environment on our Google Cloud so that Wiz has something to scan. Okay, and we'll use a shell script in Google Cloud Shell to deploy the following, which are we're going to deploy a VPC and a subnet. I mean, my experiences with Azure and AWS allows me to still understand what VPC is. VPC is closely associated with AWS, right? Because it's a virtual private cloud and you need a subnet. While in Azure, it's called a virtual network. You still need a subnet. Anyways, but then the thing we're going to be doing is that we'll be deploying a vulnerable environment on Google Cloud so that Wiz has something to scan. And we're deploying VPC and a subnet. We're also going to be deploying a compute engine instance running an Ubuntu server. Okay, so we're also going to be making a storage bucket that is going to be globally readable. I mean, it's not good practice, but it's part of what we're going to do in the hands-on. The essence is that Wiz is able to scan and just give us results based on the scan findings, right? So enough of the talks and let's get straight into getting our hands dirty. So the first thing we're going to be doing here is coming over to the left. Okay, so we are going to be clicking this, which is our cloud shell. I mean, this is constant in every cloud environment that we've worked with. All of them have their own cloud shell. So we are going to be opening this and wait for this to load. So that is coming up nice and steady. So we're waiting for that to just completely come up. So we'll go with continue, right? And authorize. So that is coming up. So our user, our environment is open, right? I have something stored in my notepad, not really something, but a command, right? So the next thing we're actually going to be doing here is to deploy the vulnerable resources in the cloud shell terminal, and then we run the command. So, like I said, I have it stored here in my notepad, and just for easy accessibility, by the way, just have to copy this, and this does the job. Mind you, this was provided to me when I was, reading through the labs. This is the first time, so yeah, we're doing it together. So we've copied that and we'll come here to paste it and press enter. So our active configuration is, and let's wait for that to just keep booting, and yeah, we'll see what that happens. So we can see here that our configuration setup is complete and that command has been run. So to test to see that this is, working completely fine and everything, we have to search for virtual machine here in the search box and let's see if we have a result. Okay, so we have a virtual machine instance here, which is a proof that that command was successfully run. And we have to select this. I don't know if again, let me try to open that in a new tab because we have to keep this shell open, by the way. And I don't want to click on this because I don't know if it's going to open in another tab or it is going to open in this same tab, but I don't want to take those chances. So we are just going to proceed from that. So this is loading. Yeah, we can see that our virtual machine instance is loaded. All right. So yeah, we can see that our virtual machine instance has loaded. And the next thing we're going to do to check for our Apache server is to copy this. Yeah, so copy this external IP, and then we check it in another tab. So I'm currently running on it incognito mode. Now suggest you do the same if you want to. It just has a way of showing away every cache in your previous browser history. So this looks good because this is what we are actually supposed to see. And this is our Apache 2 Ubuntu default page that just displayed, and it's a proof that we are right on track and it's working perfectly well. So the next thing we are going to be doing is we are going to see if the storage bucket was actually deployed. And to do that, we are going to search for buckets. So we can close this since we've been able to confirm this is working. So we come back here to search for buckets just to see that our storage bucket was deployed. So we come over here, it's taking a while. So search buckets and let's open this in a new tab. So right now we are in our buckets page, and to check to see if this is done properly, you can see in the public access section, the access is granted to public principals. So we're right on track. You can also click on this link and you can see more information about it. That one or more bucket level permission grant access to blah blah blah. However, public access could be prevented by an org policy, making this bucket and its objects not public. To check if the policy is enforced, you need to let, yada, 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 right? But bottom line is we can confirm that this bucket is publicly accessible in the public access section. We can just, check and check other tabs and confirm other features that the bucket has. I mean, that sort of thing. This is kind of exciting. This is my first time in Google Cloud, and I'm adding that to my, my star badge. That yes, I worked in a Google environment. I mean, eventually, it's something that I know that I would work with a lot because, companies can, reach out and say that they want you to help them configure with the environment. And mind you, cloud isn't just restricted to Google Cloud. Azure and AWS. We have Oracle, we have Alibaba, and those are other environments that I really cannot wait to work with too. But right now we're still in Google. We've done what we could, and we're gradually moving slowly and forward to the next step. Now, now that we've been able to confirm all of this, we have a sample environment for our Wiz to scan. So the next thing we're going to be doing now is now connect our Wiz to our Google Cloud. And to do that, you come over here to Wiz. From the logo here, you can tell that this is our Wiz environment. So our Wiz portal is loading. So yeah, this is our Wiz portal. And to connect our Google Cloud, we have to come over here to settings, get rid of this. Okay, so let's scroll here. Come over here to settings. These things are still loading though. Right, right. This is beautiful, don't you agree? This is quite beautiful. Very. I like. I just like this. I love it. I love it a lot. Well, I mean, let's not get distracted, right? Let's go back to settings here. So right now in our settings, we click on deployment page, right? And now deployment, we come here to add a deployment. This page will give you the list of cloud service providers. I mentioned a few earlier on, but let's feed our eyes, shall we? So we have the VMware vSphere. Okay. We have the Linux Cloud. I mean, this is really amazing. We have the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. We have the Alibaba Cloud. We have the AWS, which is the Amazon Web Service. We have the Microsoft Azure. We have the Google Cloud Platform, which is what we're going to be working with right now. So this is our setup, and this is where the connection happens. So for installation type, we'll leave this as standard, right? So for the connector scope, we're going to leave this as projects. Now, this is kept in organization because it is advisable that in production you choose organization for the connector scope. But because of the purpose of this hands-on, we are just going to keep it as projects. So for project ID, yeah, so our project ID is CLGC. I have it typed out somewhere, but I'm just typing that in into so this is 10 088. So this is our project ID that has been typed into the spacebar we have here. So for our deployment method, we can use shell scripts, right? Because that's what we've been working on since. So for this, we are going to be unchecking our serverless permissions. We are going to also be unchecking this DSPM permissions. We are also going to be unchecking. Okay, you know what? Let's leave this permission selected. The DSPM permission. Let's leave that selected. But we're going to be unchecking this. Adding shadow data permissions, right? We're also going to be checking forensics of permissions also. And here's why. It's because for this, as stated, the query here is that we're working with the virtual machine and the storage bucket. So all of this, and this aren't essentially necessary. So we are going forward to the next thing we have here. Now we can observe that there is a shell command right here. Usually this is automatically generated based on the information you include or the data. Would you call that a data? Okay, a data. So based on the options to be safe, you pick, right? This is supposed to be automatically generated. And because this is a shared lab environment, I remember that I mentioned that this, right, should be kept open because we are going to be using it, right? Please reconnect. I just hope that this doesn't change what I've done. But yeah, so we're leaving the shell open, and thankfully, it didn't eliminate what we had done before. We'll just have to just continue from where we stopped. And we have our own commands that we have here in our notepad. Or I have rather. Just copy this, copy that, and come over here to paste it, right? So we paste that and click enter. So we're prompted to, is it okay to proceed? Yes, it is okay to proceed. And we're waiting for that to just, keep doing its thing. And basically, what we're waiting for is a success message to just give us a go ahead that we're good to go. And we'll be closer to a connector. Bear in mind that the connector is actually a read only agentless connector. So, what it does is just read. Doesn't necessarily have direct permissions to alter what you've done, just has to read. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, we are waiting, we are waiting, we are waiting. Okay. This is really, if I call it seamless, it is easy. It's been easy so far. And I'm excited. So we can see that our Wiz is connected successfully. Successfully. So we go back to our Wiz environment and then we can proceed to doing, we're checking this. We're checking that. Deployment completed, ready to our connector setup. All right, and then we click continue, right? We have a name saved. That's what I'm going to be posting. And we come over here to every other thing here looks good, right? But we make sure that this is unchecked for our Google Workspace. So to add a connector to Google Workspace to gain GCP identity visibility, it's not necessary. So we have to uncheck that. And you can see that it looks clean and good. I will come over here to click finish. And we'll wait for a while for that to, you know, that's it, our connector added. But our status at the moment is currently initializing. So immediately this is active, we're good to go. So we'll wait for a while for this to be active and then we can proceed to the next step. I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited. So it takes a few minutes, right? I'll pause this video and then I'll come back when this is active. So we can see here that our status is now active. That took about 3 minutes, as you can see, and our status now is active. So moving on to the next video, we're going to be verifying and analyzing our cloud environment with Wiz. But until then, see you next time in my next video. If you've not subscribed to this video, if you've not subscribed to this channel, not to this video actually, to this channel, please do that. Please. Subscription is free. It costs nothing. But seeing that notification that you are supporting my journey is a lot to me. It takes a lot to make these videos, right? Seeing your subscription alert and seeing your likes actually makes my day, it lights up my day. So, and it encourages me to make more and more videos. Remember, there's a big announcement coming up. And until then, see you next time in my next video.